Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. As you probably already guessed, this video is gonna be a tutorial for a crochet dress, and a few weeks back I made this very see-through, very airy and flowy crochet dress. This video is gonna be all about how to make that dress, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about the details before we jump right into this tutorial. So this dress has a very low back and a high neckline. But one thing that was very important to me is that it is a super easy tutorial, very beginner friendly, and therefore also very easy to adjust and customize to your own liking. So if you want the neck to be lower, you can do that. If you want the back to be higher, you can do that as well. You can completely decide obviously on the length of the dress. So if you like the general pattern of this dress, but don't like the overall size of it, you can easily adjust that and make the dress completely your own. Okay, now that we got all of that out of the way, we're gonna talk about materials. You don't really need much, you just need yarn and a crochet hook, and if you have some stitch markers, if you don't, a piece of yarn will be enough, or an earring, just something you can mark the dress with. For the yarn, I used this pretty thin beige yarn. I think it's a German brand, so I'm not sure if you can get it anywhere else, but it is 100% cotton, and it is suggested to use with a 2.5 to 3.5 millimeter crocheting hook. So I just went with the middle of that, so I went with a 3 millimeter crocheting hook. I used about 4 balls of this yarn, which adds up to be 200 grams of yarn and 680 meters of yarn. You don't have to use the exact same size yarn that I'm using. You also don't have to use the exact same size of a crocheting hook. What I would just keep in mind is if you use a bigger crocheting hook than your yarn suggests, your stitches will be a lot more airy and have bigger holes in them. Okay, I think that is all the information you need for now, so let's jump right into the tutorial. Okay, we're gonna start by making a slip knot, and then you're gonna crochet however stitches you need to cover up your chest. So from the one side of your right boob to the other side of your left boob. And now we're gonna start with a triple crochet. And in order to do that, you need to chain 3 more, because that will be the height of your stitches before you continue in the row. And then you chain an additional stitch, because we're gonna always skip one. So we will have a triple crochet, then just one stitch that is just flying around, and then another triple crochet. So that we will end up with this very airy pattern, because you're always skipping one and then have your next triple crochet. So at however many stitches you ended up, just chain an additional 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you added 4 more to your chain, you're gonna count back 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is in the 7th stitch, you're gonna do your first triple crochet. And how you're gonna do that is you're gonna yarn over twice, then insert your hook into the chain, and then yarn over, pull through once. And now you have 4 loops on your hook. So you're gonna yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Now you have 3 on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. Now you have 2 loops on the hook, and yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops until you only have 1 loop on your hook. And that's your first triple crochet. And I did a few more triple crochets, but I'm gonna show you again how to do it. So once you've done your triple crochet, you're gonna chain 1, because we're gonna skip 1 in the row. So then you're gonna yarn over twice, and then you're gonna skip 1, go into your next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and now you have 4 loops on your crocheting hook. You're gonna yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over again, pull through the second 2 loops, and yarn over again and pull through the last 2 loops. And now you only have 1 loop again on your crocheting hook. And then you're gonna chain 1 again, yarn over twice, then skip one stitch and go to the next one, pull through. You have now 4 loops on your hook again, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops, you have 2 loops on your hook, and lastly you're gonna yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops, and then you're gonna only have 1 again on your hook. And that's how you do the triple crochet, and this is what you're gonna do until the end of the row. Okay, so I finished my first row. This is how it looks like. So my chain was 81 stitches long. So now I have 41 triple crochets and 40 spaces in between. So you need to make sure that the amount of triple crochets and the amount of stitches in between add up to the amount of stitches you made in the first chain. Okay, so once you finish your first row, you're here at the end, you just did your triple crochet. You're gonna chain up 4, and the first 3 are gonna be the height of the first triple crochet, and the last one of the 4 that you chained is gonna be because we are immediately skipping 1. So chain up 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then turn your work around. And now it's actually really easy because you will always go on top of your triple crochet. So you chain up 4, the first 3 is the first triple crochet, the 4th is the one you're skipping. So you're gonna yarn over twice and insert your hook on top of the triple crochet. And then just pull through. Again, you have 4 loops on your hook, pull through the first 2, pull through the next 2, and pull through the last 2. And then you're gonna chain 1 again, because here is the stitch we're skipping. Yarn over twice. Check here, you're skipping 1 and you should end up on top of your triple crochet. And here you see how it's gonna look like. So just continue doing so until you have the length of your dress. It's gonna be one big rectangle. So just crochet the day away because it's gonna take a while. Okay, I'm almost done with my second row, and here is one part that you really need to keep an eye out for, and it's the 4 that you chained up. You can't forget them because it's easy to forget them because this post isn't as straight as the other ones. So just make sure you have the same amount of triple crochets in each row. So this one right here is also a triple crochet. At the end of each row, you will have a little bit of a weird situation going on. So I just did my triple crochet. I'm gonna chain 1, yarn over twice, and then here we're also just gonna skip 1 and then insert the hook into the next one, which is this one. And then you're just gonna do a triple crochet. And that way you will have a straight edge. So don't forget your last triple crochet. It's very important. I think that's all I have to show you until now. So just have fun crocheting for a long time, the same thing over and over again. Just talked for like 5 minutes with the camera and I wasn't filming. Anyways, let me repeat myself. It is 11 p.m. I'm super tired. Excuse the bad lighting, excuse my hair because I've just spent a whole day at the beach and I didn't have time to shower yet because I'm trying to finish this dress and I'm trying to finish this tutorial. So you just have to ignore the whole visual part of this segment, okay? Just completely ignore it, please. Thank you. So I finished the front part of the dress. This is how it's looking. But now that I've finished the front part, I realized I have a slight problem, and you might have the same problem. So my original plan was to have a straight, or it's still my plan, but the idea was to have a straight neckline and then just a rectangle down. Just plain ass rectangle down my body. But I realized that the width of my chest is bigger than the width of my shoulders. Like as you can see here, it goes over my shoulders, but it fits perfectly around my chest. So if I would just connect my straps right here, because the dress is backless, it will just slip down constantly. So if you have the same issue that your chest is wider than your shoulders, you need to decrease some rows so that you have like kind of like this top, more of a triangle shape. So I now have the length of the dress starting from around here where the armpit holes begin from my top. And now I'm just going to crochet an additional triangle at the top of that. I'm going to show you how to do that, but if your chest is about the same width, I can't say that word, I'm not even sure if it's right, the same width, whatever, like the same size as your shoulders, you don't need to do that. You can skip this part and just have a rectangle down. Okay, you're gonna do your decreases always at the beginning and at the end of each row to make it as unnoticeable as possible. So I'm first gonna do the first triple crochet as normal. So we're just gonna chain 4, and then you're gonna turn your work, and then we are gonna decrease these 2 that are coming next. So wrap your yarn around the hook twice, and then go on top of the triple crochet, pull through, then wrap around, pull through the first 2 loops, pull through the second 2 loops, and now you have 2 more loops on your hook. And usually you would just pull through again and you finish your triple crochet. But because we want to join these 2, you're gonna leave the 2 loops on the hook, wrap the yarn around the hook twice, and then go on top of your next triple crochet. So we're completely ignoring that we're skipping 1 here, because I don't know how to do it. Like I don't know how to decrease while also taking into consideration that in between are like single stitches. So we're just ignoring that. That's what I meant when I said I have no clue what I'm doing. Anyways, you have your 2 loops from the first triple crochet on your hook, then you have wrapped your yarn around the hook twice, and then you went to the 3rd triple crochet in the row below. Go on top of it, pull the yarn through, and now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your hook. Pull your yarn through the first 2 loops, pull them to the next 2 loops, and now you have 3 loops on your hook. And to finish up these 2 triple crochets into 1, you're just gonna wrap the yarn around the hook and pull through all 3 loops. And now you only have 1, and you join these 2 triple crochets into 1 stitch. And then you're just gonna continue normally with the pattern. So you're gonna chain 1, because you're skipping the next one, wrap the yarn around the hook twice, go to your next triple crochet, and just do a normal triple crochet. You're just gonna continue with the same pattern, so skipping 1, triple crochet, skipping 1, triple crochet, skipping 1, triple crochet, and so on until you reach the end of the row. And then we're gonna talk again. Okay, once you're almost at the end of your row and you've reached the 3rd triple crochet counting from the end, you're gonna decrease these 2. And then you're gonna do 1 normal, like I did in the beginning. You chain 1, like normal. You wrap your yarn around the hook, insert into the triple crochet. You have 4 loops on your hook. Pull through the 2 first loops, pull through the second 2 loops. You now have 2 loops on your hook. You're gonna wrap the yarn around the hook twice again. go to your next triple crochet, pull through, and then pull through the first 2 loops, pull through the next 2 loops. And now you have 3 loops on your hook, and to finish the decrease you're gonna pull through all 3 of them. And now you decrease these 2 into 1, and then you obviously can't forget that you need to go into your very last triple crochet. So you're just gonna chain 1 as normal, wrap the yarn around twice, and then you're gonna go into the very last triple crochet, which is the chain you crochet every time you start a new row. So you pull through, you do a normal triple crochet, and there you have it, you finished the row. And then you're just gonna start the row as we did in the beginning. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, turn your work, and then wrap the yarn around twice. And now you see that these 2 triple crochets have become 1, and you're now gonna decrease this one and this one. So you've wrapped your yarn around, and then you're gonna go on top of the decreased triple crochet, pull through the first 2 loops, and then through the second 2 loops. You have 2 loops on your hook, wrap the yarn around the hook twice again. We're gonna ignore that we skipped one here. Still don't know the right solution to that problem, but we're just gonna keep going. Go onto your next triple crochet, pull the yarn through. Now you have 5 loops on your hook, and then you pull through the first 2 loops, through the second 2 loops. You have again 3 loops on your hook, and then you finish the decrease by pulling through all 3 loops. And now you have 1 normal triple crochet and a decreased triple crochet. You're gonna chain 1, and you're gonna continue your pattern as normal. And you're just gonna decrease at the very beginning and at the very end of the row until you have the desired width you want for your top. Once you finish your top part, it's time for the back. And I have already done that. It's basically the same thing as the front, and I started the rows with the same amount of stitches as the front part, but I realized that it is quite loose on my waist, so I did the same thing as I did with the front part on the top, and I just started decreasing a few rows. I think I decreased 2 or 3 rows, just to make it a little bit tighter around the waist. But obviously you can make the back part smaller than the front part if you already realize that it will be too loose. So just hold the front part around your waist and see if it needs the same amount of stitches on the back, or if you should make a smaller rectangle so that it cinches in the waist a little bit. I hope that was understandable, but other than that, you just do the same thing as in the front part. You decide on how many stitches you need, and then you're going to do a triple crochet, chain 1, because you're skipping 1, triple crochet, chain 1, because you're skipping 1, triple crochet, and so on and so forth. So very easy. If you completed the front part, the back part is just the same shit over again. And once you've reached the size of the back panel that you want, and you decided on how much back you want to show, you're gonna start with the straps. And the straps are the same pattern as the whole dress. So super easy, and we're gonna get into that in a second. So you've reached your desired length of the back piece, and we're now gonna do the straps. So your yarn is still attached to the back piece, and you're just gonna decide how wide you want the straps to be. I am gonna do it, I think 8 triple crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 until here, which means I have a total of 15 stitches, like counting also the single stitches in between. But you can just count the triple crochets because that's easier. So these count as 1 because they connect here. So I'm just gonna make them as wide as the pattern of 8 triple crochets. So you're gonna start your row normally, chain up 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, turn your work, and then just follow the pattern normally until you reach the width of, I'm saying that word wrong, I think. But anyways, until you reach the width of your strap. And once you finish your last triple crochet of the strap, you're just gonna pretend like the row is finished here. So you're just normally gonna chain up 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you turn your work and then crochet back, and then start your row again, crochet, start your row again, and you're just gonna pretend that your piece is finished after however many triple crochets you decided to do. So as you can see, this is how the strap is gonna look like, and it's slowly starting to form. Just keep on crocheting until you've reached the length of your straps. Okay, so I finished my first strap, and now you're gonna do the second one, and it's the same thing as the first one. You just need to attach the yarn onto your project, and you're gonna do that by making a slip knot. I'm gonna start on the inside, like on the inside of the project, and work my way out. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna reattach the yarn. So I'm putting my hook through the project, and then I have the slip knot right here, and I pull it through. Make sure you hold it on the other side, and then you just attach your yarn, and you're just gonna start the row as normal, so chaining up 4, and then you're just gonna continue the pattern as normal. So we're gonna do a triple crochet, chaining 1, skipping 1, and then we're gonna do a triple crochet. And that's all. You've attached the yarn onto your project, and now you can crochet the strap as normal. Okay, I cannot believe it, but I'm finally done with the 2 pieces, and now all you gotta do is sew it together. I'm gonna use a slip stitch, but you can obviously just normally sew it, whatever you prefer. But let me just quickly show you the pieces. So this is the front piece, and as you can tell here on the sides are all the decreases, so you can see them a little bit, but once you wear it, it's not really noticeable. And this is the back piece. So the only important thing with these 2 pieces is that you should count the rows of your front piece so that the back piece will match perfectly. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm first gonna slip stitch the straps onto the front piece, and then I'm gonna wear it and measure where my hole for the arm is gonna start. I'm probably gonna use this top as a guideline, and then you leave this part open and then sew it together or slip stitch it together from below. So you can either sew it together until the very end, or you can also leave a slit on one side or on both sides. I'm still not sure if I want one or not. So once I connected the back piece to the front piece and tried it on, I realized that it didn't really work how I wanted it to work. And the reason for that is because I made such a straight neckline, it kind of suffocated me when I pulled the dress so far up that the seam would meet on top of my shoulders, because the neck would be in the way, if that makes any sense. So in order to prevent me suffocating, I pulled the dress a little bit forward, and that made the back of the dress obviously shorter than the front. So in order to fix that, I decided to make mini straps for the front panel as well. Okay, this is just for me. I'm adding 4 rows of straps to the front part, and then I'm also, to make the back the same length as the front, I'm also adding 4 more rows to the straps of the back part, so that the seam will meet on top of my shoulder, and that the dress is hopefully the same length in the front and the back. I'm gonna do it now, and I'm gonna finish the dress today. So in order to make the straps, I just added the yarn to the front panel like I did the one time on the back panel, and I made the strap the same width as the back strap so that it would match up perfectly on top of my shoulders. So I made the straps again 8 triple crochets wide, and I made 4 rows. And as I said in the clip before that, to have the dress meet at the same length, I also had to add 4 more rows to the back straps, so that the total amount of rows would stay the same for the front and the back. So I tried the dress on again and figured out how deep I wanted the armhole to be, and I marked that with an earring because I just didn't have any stitch markers on hand, and just make sure that the amount of rows are the same in the front and the back for the size of the armhole, so that in the end the dress will meet at the same length. And as I said, I used a slip stitch, but to be honest, I'm not sure if that is really the best way to go. Because we have this weird triple crochet stitch, it wasn't very clear to me where to insert the hook in order to connect the stitches from the back and the front panel. So I think it would be easier if you would just sew it together. So that is how you make the dress. Honestly, I personally would prefer it if I made this in black. I thought I would be much tanner when I would wear it, but it does look very similar to my skin color, especially when you're very far away from me. So yeah, for me personally, I wish I made this dress in black, but overall I'm very happy with the end result. So I'm hoping this tutorial will help you make a dress of your own, and if you do, please send me a picture over on Instagram or tag me in your post so that I can see how you recreated this dress. And I think that is all. I wanted to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like and also consider subscribing to my channel. I'm gonna let you crochet now, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!